Well, welcome to day 102. It's another day of me sitting in my hotel bed, but I've not been doing that all the day long. So far today, we got up, had breakfast, ran into Whichway, who's a guy that we've been hiking with, bouncing back and forth with for the last week or two. He's actually here at the hotel as well, and we had a car and he didn't, so we loaded up and we went down to REI again. Got him a couple of things. Got Gavin a pack cover that we forgot to get yesterday that hopefully will be a little bit more waterproof than the one that he has been carrying so far. We went into Walmart and picked up a few other last minute things. Had lunch at Olive Garden, which was awesome. We figured, well, while we've got a car, we're going to go somewhere nice for lunch, and then we'll just go to the diner for supper, which is nearby, and we can walk to that. And then dropped everybody off, cleaned out the car, and I've returned the car to Enterprise. Thank you guys for a great rental. It was went off without a hitch this week, and you redeemed yourselves from the fiasco in Harper's Ferry. So anyway, we have turned in our car. We're going to be hiking out tomorrow in better weather than we had this morning. We mentioned yesterday that the weather was supposed to be kind of dicey at best today, and early in the day up until around 10 or 11 o'clock, it was pretty much, it was dicey for sure. It was raining. And we made the right choice to stay indoors and get another day of rest under our legs. We're going to be out for about 9 days, 8 or 9 days, leaving here without taking a zero. Now, that's not to say we're not going to have some indoor time. We're going to hopefully slack pack out of the home of the subscribers that we stayed with night before last for a couple of days. And then we know 2 other folks between here and New Jersey that we're hoping that we can either stay with them or at least get them to pick us up and take us to buy some food, let us camp in their yard or something. We'll figure it out. Today's video is going to be a short one. We got a message from the youth director at our church this week asking us if we would prepare a short video about a day in the life on the Appalachian Trail so that it could be shown during the talent show that they have each year to raise money for our youth mission trip. So that was a great idea, I thought. We don't have any new Q&A questions that we need to address, so we prepared a script, and we're going to show you a little bit about what it's like a day in the life on the Appalachian Trail. Hope you enjoy it.
The Appalachian Trail is approximately 2,200 miles long. It stretches from Springer Mountain, Georgia, to Mount Katahdin in Maine. Most hikers take about 6 months to complete the whole trip. We started our hike in early February from Georgia, and we hope to complete our journey sometime in July. In order to complete the trip, you'll need to invest in the proper gear, starting with a backpack, sleeping pad and bag, and a tent. You'll also need to pack clothing appropriate for the weather, some high-calorie, low-weight snacks, and maybe a backpacking stove and cooking pot to boil water. On a typical day, we'll get started around 6 a.m. We'll pack up our sleeping stuff and tent if we used it. Often, we'll stay in trail shelters, which are usually 3-sided, covered structures spaced approximately every 10 miles or so along the trail. Once we're up and mostly packed, we'll have breakfast, then start hiking. We usually try to start walking around 7:30 each morning. We usually hike between 16 and 20 miles each day, depending on the terrain and the spacing of the campsites and shelters. Along the way, we'll stop 2 to 3 times to snack on trail foods and filter water. Water is obtained from springs and creeks because of the possibility of bacteria and contamination from upstream animals. We always collect water in dirty bags and filter it to remove the harmful impurities. We check our trail guide several times each day to locate water sources so that we don't run out. Once we've arrived at our campsite for the night, we'll either claim a spot in the shelter or pitch a tent. Then we'll set up our sleeping area by blowing up our sleeping bags, pads, and tossing out our sleeping bags. Once we've got our sleep space set up, we'll collect and filter water if needed and prepare and eat our supper. After eating, we collect all our food and items which have odors, such as toothpaste and hand sanitizer, and we'll put them in our waterproof bear bags. To keep bears and mice from getting our food, we usually hang it in a tree at least 10 feet off the ground. With chores done, we usually will go to bed, sometimes while it's still daylight, to rest up for the next day. This process of wake, eat, hike, eat, and sleep continues usually for 3 to 5 days. When possible, we'll duck into towns, to a grocery store or Dollar General, to purchase food we'll need for the next several days. About once a week or so, we will try to stay in town in either a hostel or a hotel for a day so that we can let our bodies rest. Town stays are important too because they allow us to load up on food to make up for our calorie deficits on trail. Though not everyone has the time or desire to complete a 6-month hike of the Appalachian Trail, there are several places close to our home in western North Carolina that you and your family can go to for a nice hike. Among our favorite places on the trail are Rowan Highlands, starting at Carver's Gap, which features a phenomenal 360-degree view from the Balds. Another is Grayson Highlands State Park in Southern Virginia, which has both views and tons of wild ponies. A little further from our home in Virginia is the Virginia Triple Crown, which features some of the best hiking in Virginia, including Dragon's Tooth, McAfee Knob, the most photographed spot on the AC, and Tinker Cliffs. There are many other places to hike, and I encourage you to get outside and see the sights. If you'd like to know more about our hike, go to YouTube and search Awful Hikes, one word. We upload daily videos from the trail, and we'd love to have you follow our journey.
Well, that's the end of our day 102 video. We hope that you've enjoyed this little compilation of a day in the life of a thru hiker that we put together for our church talent show. We'll be back on the trail tomorrow, headed towards Duncannon, Pennsylvania. So we hope that you'll join us in the morning, and we look forward to seeing you on the trail tomorrow.